Hi, everybody. I'm Adam McDowell with Berkshire Hathaway Home Services Chicago and parkbench.com/North Center. I'm here today with Margaret O'Connor. She's the Executive Director of Common Pantry. Hi, Margaret.
Hi there.
Hi. Thank you for joining me. I know you guys are really busy right now, so thanks for taking some time to talk to me about all your work at Common Pantry. You're a food bank, and you also serve hot meals, and you've got a number of programs you run. Primarily focused in the Roscoe Village North Center area. So tell me about some of what you guys do.
Yeah, Common Pantry is the oldest continually operating food pantry in the city of Chicago. So we've been doing this longer than anybody, over 52 years. And we serve an area about 2 miles circumference around our location, which is in the basement of Epiphany Church along Damon Avenue, 3744 North Damon. And that is pre-COVID. So if you lived in that area, if you live within those boundaries, you can come and shop here at the pantry once a month. And you can also enjoy our hot lunch every single week. It doesn't matter where you live for that. We serve homemade, fresh hot lunch every single Wednesday pre-COVID. And while we're still continuing that program, we would normally join inside Fellowship Hall, which is just adjacent to the pantry here in the basement of the church. And we would also, we have a common community social service office. So things like job placement, SNAP applications that they process. We can do some housing searches. We are able to take in mail for people who don't have permanent homes. So we often are, giving out people's mail every Wednesday to them. Very home-like feeling here, very family feeling. We pride ourselves on the kinship and support that we give anybody who walks through the door here on a weekly basis. Pre-COVID.
It's amazing. There's so much more than just providing food.
Oh yeah.
I didn't know you had all those services.
Yeah, we also have a home delivery service as well.
And I want to highlight too. We were talking about the pantry. People who come in, you said they get to shop the pantry, so you're not just handing them, here's the 5 things you get. They get to actually pick out. They have some choice in that.
Yeah, the client choice model is something that they took over quite a few years ago in terms of providing more grocery store experience and more empathetic approach toward food insecurity based on the size of your family. You get a number of points, and then you just decrease those points as you go around the pantry. The one thing that we believe in is healthy food and support for a strong neighborhood. And in that case, none of our fruits, vegetables, or meats cost any points. So we don't want you subbing out, a shelf-stable item for instead of in getting vegetables, fresh fruits and vegetables. So that's something that we also take very seriously.
Wow. So obviously things have changed dramatically over the last month or two with COVID-19 and the quarantine, but you haven't ended any of your programs yet. You're still doing everything, just doing them a little bit differently. So how are you serving people now in the time of shutdown?
Yeah, so basically the week of the 16th, March 16th, is when we decided to switch gears. When I say 180%, I mean more like 360 degrees. So we shut the building down, not allowing any guests to come in. And instead, we started doing our program directly outside the building. On any given Wednesday, you arrive at 11 o'clock on one side of the building, the Bradley Street entrance, we say. We're delivering and distributing hot lunch. It's still a fresh hot lunch. We've changed it up a little bit where the team is quite a bit smaller so that we're practicing social distancing, but we have fresh meals made every single week. This week we had our friend Barbecue Bob make pulled pork sandwiches, and so we just over 100, not directly from Bradley, but then also whatever was left, we bring over to the Damon Street entrance of where you would normally come into the pantry. We pop up a 10 by 10 and put out some tables, and just to practice social distancing, we basically distribute food from that door, and it's prepackaged food, so no longer necessarily have choice in what they're getting, but it's plentiful. We still distribute our fresh bread and pre-made salads that we get from our rescue partners, our grocery partners, which in the beginning of the crisis was a lot lower because people were buying everything because they were all at home, and it's evened out a little bit. So we are getting a little bit more food from our rescue. And then you also get meat and produce. And you also get milk and eggs as long as they're in stock. So we're increasing purchases of all of it because, for example, last week we were at 174 families that we distributed food to. And normally we're at about 70 to 75 families. So we're doubling at least
Yeah.
distribution rates at this point. So yeah.
Yeah, so let's talk about I Am Your Neighbor, which is a new initiative launched specifically in response to COVID-19. So you're partnering with some local restaurants to help provide that some of that choice you were talking about to the clients who come through. So what does that program look like?
Yeah, so the brainchild from our board president, David Brown, he approached me and said, I'm thinking about doing this. I Am Your Neighbor is it's actually originally a book that was written about the pantry to give people more information about the people we serve. And then it's our largest event also on an annual basis. And so when we talked about this, he said, well, why don't we just call it the I Am Your Neighbor meal program? And I said, yeah, that sounds great. I mean, it's in line with something that's familiar with people. And basically the I Am Your Neighbor meal program was set up with local restaurants in mind to keep them funded and keep them going. And then it also provides an opportunity for us to tell our clients that if they're in need of a hot meal, they can go to one of the participating restaurants and just say, I would like an I Am Your Neighbor meal, and they will get an I Am Your Neighbor meal as long as that tab is, as long as the restaurant has a little bit of tab for the program. So basically we took, as a result of a surge in one of our Facebook sponsored fundraising initiatives, we took some of that and started the program. So we funded the initial part of the program, and there was also a $5,000 anonymous donation that came in. So we took a portion of that and we started kind of funding the restaurants and their I'm Your Neighbor meal programs with those dollars. And we started after that to get the kinks out a little bit and working with our chambers of commerce to engage more restaurants and of course get some more publicity about it so that people call the list of restaurants that are on our website, and they themselves could call the restaurants and say, hey, I'd like to order a meal, and then tack on another $15, let's say, or so, or however much they want, the I Am Your Neighbor meal program. So that's kind of it's kind of the way that it's working right now. It's working really, really well. That restaurants are so grateful.
Yeah, that's great. And like I said, you're supporting multiple people with a single act.
Yep. Exactly.
So
it's very cyclical.
Yeah. People now, if they've got the time or the resources and they want to help out Common Pantry, what do you guys need in terms of either volunteers? Where should people be putting their money? Things like that.
So you can go to commonpantry.org. We have actually had to adjust quite a bit our volunteer opportunities. If you've ever been here to Common Pantry, you know how small it is, and we need to adhere to the social distancing practices. So while we do still have spots available to sign up to volunteer, they're farther and few between. So you can try that for sure. We really appreciate any support. Make sure that we screen for people's risk factors. We don't want anybody coming in that, that would increase their chances of exposing themselves or any of the other staff or volunteers here to COVID. Obviously we've practiced very much the sanitation and the cleaning that goes on is ramped up exponentially here. So besides the volunteering piece, of course, you can go to commonpantry.org and go to our donate page and see what we have in terms of how far your dollar can go. Every dollar that you donate directly to the organization, we can take a little bit farther, but we can also accept what we've been doing actually lately is asking people to bundle their in-kind donations. A lot of people want to give our highly requested items, and they want to provide an opportunity to give in kind as well. What we're asking is that people use their own networks, whether it's their school community or their neighborhood organizations, get about 4 or 5 families together, bundle their donations, and then you can go online and can register and email the person who handles those donations. The I Am Your Neighbor meal program absolutely can donate to that too. We funnel every single dollar that's earmarked for that program back into the restaurants. And I was telling you before we started the actual recorded interview that I had a gentleman call here yesterday and said, me and my girls have decided we want to donate X amount to your program, and these are the 3 restaurants we want to support. So we were able to take that donation and call the restaurants and say, here's your, X amount of dollars to put on your tab for I Am Your Neighbor. And they're incredibly grateful. Some of this program is actually sustaining these restaurants right now. So it's making a significant impact on the restaurants. And obviously we're messaging that to our clients so that they can go out and have a little bit of a choice in what they want to.
Thank you, Margaret, for all your time. And thank you for everything you've been doing with Common Pantry and everything Common Pantry does. It's any given day, it's an incredible thing that you guys are doing, and now especially with so many people in need, very appreciative that you guys are there to help out. So one more time, the website and social media that you guys run.
Yeah, so we're commonpantry.org. We have a newsletter that you can sign up for right there. We're on Facebook, we're on Instagram. We've recently launched our LinkedIn page, and we're just really excited to have people stay engaged with us, follow us, and keep supporting us in whatever way you possibly can. We're so grateful, and I promise if you sign up for our newsletter, I won't spam you.
That's great. And thank you guys all for watching. I'm Adam McDowell with Berkshire Hathaway Home Services Chicago. We're Path to Home, and parkbench.com/North Center.
Thank you.